Hello everyone, welcome back to my backyard street lighting display. What you're looking at here is an early 50s Westinghouse AK-10 Teardrop. And this is the AK-10 that does not have the NEMA standard latches, because there are two versions. There's the kind that has them and the kind that doesn't, obviously. And I'll kind of show y'all how this one mounts once I open it up. But I've had this for a little while now, almost a year actually, and I haven't really hung it up too often, which is kind of a shame because this is one of my favorite teardrop fixtures. But I figured it was time to make a video in the spirit of my recent motivation to actually film my stuff. So yeah, it's on this nice curved upsweep arm here that possibly may be manufactured by Westinghouse as well. The only reason I say that is because the little ground clamp here is made by Westinghouse, but that doesn't entirely mean the entire arm is. It could just be that's the only piece made by Westinghouse, but who knows. It did come with a brace on it originally, but it's removable. You can kind of see where it used to be. And it was bent so much that I took it off. But yeah, I'm running it off of the Westinghouse ballast from 1955. And it's got this really nice long slip fitter here that bolts onto the head. And then it's got this cool textured glass, but the interesting thing is it's textured only on the inside, not the outside. And Westinghouse was, of course, proud of their stuff in this time period, so you can be sure it's Westinghouse right there. Plus you can get a nice view of the little rippled beehive head there. I guess it's not really a beehive, but it kind of is in a way. So anyways, it's a really well-made teardrop. Of course it has a hinged optical assembly as well. And what's interesting about this is not only does it utilize the same probably the OV20 I mean, uses the latch from this, but not only that, but the way the reflector wow, I just can't speak today. The reflector and refractor assembly, there we go, there's some English, has these little set screws inside on the head that it twists onto. So instead of using a two-eared latch system, that's how it mounts. This was originally an incandescent fixture. It came with a big old incandescent bulb inside, but I made it mercury for this video, although I will do an incandescent video because I think it'll be cool to put the proper lamp in one of these. There's the socket. It's the same as the one in my OV20, so this is probably from the same era. Everything is very similar. And it has a nice 70s Westinghouse lifeguard that is still perfectly brand new in lumens, even though it's used. So yeah, it's textured in here. It's pretty cool glassware. These things were used all over the place here. It was, I should say, a very prominent fixture locally. But of course, they're pretty much all gone. I was able to save this one from a place that decided they didn't want it anymore for stupid LEDs, of course. And yeah, so I'm really happy to have one of these, especially hinged, because all of the GE stuff I've gotten, like the one behind me, unfortunately are not hinged. We do have GE hinged optical assemblies, but I haven't had a chance to get my hands on any yet. So we'll go ahead and fire it up. Of course, you probably won't be able to see it very well at first due to the time of day I'm filming. But I figured I had other things to do, and I'm probably going to forget to make this video if I don't go ahead and do it now, so here we are. Even though it's, 3:20 in the afternoon. In the summer. Which isn't that hot actually right now. It's like maybe 80 degrees. Which some of you are like, oh my gosh, that's crazy hot. Oh no. No, it's really fine. It's not bad at all. But yeah. So I think I've gotten a chance to see at least maybe 50 of these in use in a couple of cities south of me. Same utility as my area, but just one of the few that kept their teardrops. And for whatever reason, I noticed that, sorry, my dog is back here, and she thinks that rolling in the grass and growling is a fun thing to do. But it is cute, I'll admit. But anyways, yeah, sorry, I get distracted easily. ADHD moment. These Westinghouse teardrops specifically were only really used on steel poles. I don't know what it was, but the utility, at least from what I've noticed in both historical photos and, you know, the past 10 plus years when the last remaining populations of these were still around, always had the Westinghouse on steel poles and always GE on the wooden poles, like the utility poles. I don't know why they did that. They did sometimes put the GEs on the steels, but I've not really seen much of the Westinghouse teardrops on utility poles. So maybe these were more expensive, perhaps. They are definitely better built than the GE teardrops they bought. The glass is thicker, the reflector is a little bit thicker, even though it's still stamped, it's still thicker and it's hinged. And the head is way better built. It's much thicker casting, all that stuff. So maybe that's part of it. But I think Westinghouse had a one-piece teardrop as well at one point. Maybe they didn't, but I think they did. Where the glass was kind of crimped onto the reflector. Nonetheless, these are a fairly large staple in my local utilities past. And none remain, unfortunately. I don't know why they targeted these specifically, as a lot of clamshells and mercury cobra heads still are currently installed and operating right now. It just seems that only the teardrops, minus like some parts of Dallas, got to stay. Really, it's very odd. I don't even understand that, because they're not hard to work on. They're easy to relamp. They're the same process. And they look better in an old town. What's even dumber is seeing towns that used to have these back in the day either replace them while they still had them with retrofit, or not retrofit, retro style or reproduction style teardrops. Gee, just leave the ones there. Or they removed them back in the day and then they reverted back to that look with reproduction teardrops later on. But it really makes no sense seeing these get replaced by retrofit, I keep saying that, by reproduction teardrops, when they could have just retrofitted the existing teardrops for less money. You can put a corn cob in these and it actually lights up the ground really good. This is the only fixture that properly distributes light from a corn cob, besides maybe a post top, but even then those are usually not as good. And you could just change the head. If you want it to be HPS, then just change the head. It's that simple. Keep the optics. It's cheaper too. But, you know, utilities and all that stuff never care about that kind of thing. So, here we are. But I really like these. Teardrops are probably one of my top streetlights, as growing up, going to Dallas all the time, I got to see them in a lot of neighborhoods that family members lived in and all that kind of stuff. So it was always cool to see a vastly different style of streetlight than, you know, the Cobra head that was everywhere else. So I will always try to collect as many of these as possible, although they're getting harder to find now because they're so old. But if anybody ever wants to get rid of any, please let me know. I'm on the lookout especially for the later Joslin teardrops that are from the 50s and 60s, as well as the gumballs. Other variations of the Westinghouse teardrops, the hinged GE teardrop assemblies, as well as the Form 101s, and the Westinghouse Reflectolux Senior and Junior lineup of ornamental teardrops, from the 30s and 40s. And the lime material teardrops, and Revere as well. And I believe also Wheeler and Pemco made their own variations too, and I'd like to find some of those at some point. And older Westinghouse stuff was good too. More Joslin's, different variations, because I know they had a couple of different styles of glass, where they had the pointy style for Dallas, which seemingly was an exclusive thing. I've yet to be proven wrong on that. I mean, I'd like to see more of them, but I don't think that they ever existed anywhere else. But Joslin made plenty of other types of teardrops with different glass and so forth, and I'd like to get a hold of those. So if anybody is ever in the mood of letting go of some of their teardrops, please let me know, because that would be pretty neat. I definitely will never not have room for more teardrops. And that being said, I believe this is at full brightness now. Yep, definitely is. It's drawing 480 watts, 4.1 amps, and a power factor of 99. So we are at peak. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And that's it. Sorry about my little stuttering moment there with the reflector and refractor stuff and the reproduction versus retrofit stuff. I don't know why I mix those words up, but anyway, yeah. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm really glad that I have this and I'm able to document it, since it seems that really hardly anybody that owns these ever documents them much. Somebody's got to do it, so that'll be me. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.